Good morning, everyone. Your friendly neighborhood conservative ex-con here, Fernando Rivera Jr., with common sense and random shit show. The thing with the arms is freaking myself out. Anyway, not the arms, the hands. First off, I'd like to apologize for yesterday. Sorry. Went on a little rant because I was pretty pissed off about the Alex Stein character guy, the comedian. Sorry about that. The funny thing about it is there were about four people that I showed the video to, and all of them sort of agree with me. They were like, "You shouldn't have invited him to fight, though." Well, it's whatever. But you know, Alex wrote me and said, it was a joke. Relax. Weak defense. I mean, I guess he felt the need to defend himself. Whatever. Off the subject. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. The usual time, 6:30, live on Tree, Facebook, X, and Rumble. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Subscribe, follow, share, like, thumbs up, write me. My email will be in the description, so you can threaten me, say what the hell you want. Up to you. But what am I here for? Breaking news. I used to say, no, this is not the place. But you never know. Some of the stuff I share, if you haven't heard it, it's breaking to you. Just saying. Anyway, shit show. Yes, that's what it is. That's why the show's called Common Sense and Random Shit Show, because it's a shit show. And it always will be a shit show, as long as Democrats have some kind of leeway. Just saying. Well, they think they do anyway. Not now, but it's whatever. But let's get into some shit. One of the things I like to talk about, that I always like to talk about, is the nonsensical exploitation, I guess, but nonsensical news, the liberal media, and their bullshit, lies, propaganda, and someone like me, an ex-convict, an ex-gang member, can see through it. And I'm sure most of America could. But one thing I enjoy is reading Babylon Bee. Listen, they don't pay me. I'm no affiliate of any kind with Babylon Bee. But as I've said before, if it's out there, I'm going to share it. And to me, this is one of the funny things out there. One of them, anyway. And I thought I'd like to share it. Obama awarded Nobel Peace Prize for exemplary work planning Russian collusion hoax. Just saying. Let's read this and laugh. Oslo, Norway. Former U.S. President Barack Obama was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize on Tuesday for his efforts in fabricating national intelligence to promote the Russian collusion hoax and undermine the presidency of Donald Trump. The Norwegian Nobel Committee voted unanimously to award the prize to Obama, citing his obsession with destroying Donald Trump as a key factor. We admire Barack Obama's commitment to corruption and suppressing the will of the American people, who duly elected Donald Trump as their president, said Nobel Committee member.
I found this on the web.
Stop it. My phone's talking to me. Scary. Said Nobel Committee member John Eric Hansen. He may not have succeeded, but we like his moxie. This marks the second time Obama has won a peace prize. He previously won one in 2009 for his potential to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples, though he had never gotten around to doing so. Accepting this prize is not an admission of guilt, Obama said, as he graciously accepted the prize along with a monetary award of 10 million Swedish kronor. Kronor? Is that what I said? Sorry. The prize may go down in history as among the most controversial, but committee members say critics should be so surprised they'd award a Nobel Peace Prize to a corrupt, two-faced politician. It's the same reason we gave the Peace Prize to Yasser Arafat, said committee member Bjorn Bakruf. Maybe saying it right. At publishing time, Barack Obama traveled to Cuba for what he claimed, was a vacation to celebrate his Nobel Peace Prize. and not to avoid extradition to the United States for crimes of treason. Yeah. Just thought I'd share that. That's comedy. Yeah, Babylon Bee. They know how to do comedy. You got to watch some of this shit. If you haven't, they're funny as shit. I just got to repeat it. They're funny. They're funny. They're funny. The writers are genius. Just had to share that. Anyway, I got this video that I wanted to share. It's AI Barry. You know, this Colbert piece of shit. You know, let me tell you, when I was in prison, one of the things I look forward to every day or every night, Monday to Friday at least, was the late night shows. And, you know, back when I was in there, there were some good shows. There was a lot better. Jay Leno was on. You know, I like Jay Leno, believe it or not. Conan O'Brien was, to me, one of the best one out there. And he was a success for a couple years. You know, he was pretty hot. And Conan O'Brien may be a liberal. I think if I saw somewhere, he may be a Democrat. Probably voted Democrat. But one thing Conan O'Brien did so successfully and smart was he never involved politics. You know, I said before, you know, with all the movies and the woke bullshit that's going on, what are these people missing? I mean, how could you not ride the wave? And what I mean by that is, if more than half the country duly elected a conservative president and believe in him, why would you expect whatever you're putting out as a business, movie, talk show, whatever it may be, go against the grain and expect to be successful? Yeah, there's a lot of crazy people in the United States that follow sheep. They're sheep that follow the nonsense and bullshit and think these people are entertaining. But why? Why would you go against the grain? Because they're psycho. They're idiots. They're stupid, as I said before, and they're insane. It is what it is, as this guy always says. But Stephen Colbert, yeah, that piece of shit. You know, that I remember when that video, I never ever watched him. Just clips here and there, and I was like, this guy's a freaking idiot. With the vaccines behind him dancing. That's probably the dumbest skit I've ever seen in my life. It really was. But AI Barry, check this out. This is pretty funny. Link will be in the description. Love this guy's stuff.
Well, I sold out years ago and I'm a coward and now I'm being canceled. The network says it's because I'm not funny anymore and nobody watches my show, but that's never mattered in the past. So I think it's because I speak truth to power and they hate that. They're a bunch of dirty, rotten fascists.
Oh my God, Steven, what's wrong?
I sold out years ago and I'm a coward.
Oh, buddy, are you upset because you won't be able to make $15 million a year for being really goddamn annoying anymore?
Yes.
Would you feel better if I got the guys together and we tried to get your job back?
I guess so.
All right, then. Guys, Steven lost his job as an irritating late-night host, and we need to help him get it back.
Oh my God, you lost your job?
Oh, you'll never believe this. But the network said it's because he's not funny and his show doesn't make any money.
Well, that's just insane. None of our shows make money.
You're right, Jimmy. That's why we need to help him. You see, Steven was only the first of us to fall. It's only a matter of time until none of us make $15 million a year for being really goddamn annoying.
So if we beg George Cheeks, the CEO of CBS, to give Steven his job back, it'll save all of our jobs?
Wait, his name is George Cheeks?
George, we demand you give Steven his job back.
If you don't, then you're George Butt Cheeks. Shut the hell up, Fallon!
George, I sold out years ago and I'm a coward, so you have to give me my job back.
Absolutely not, Steve. In fact, I'm surprised all of you haven't been canceled. I don't know if you guys knew this, but networks are trying to reach more people than just divorced women and men who wear things from Lululemon.
Was it me or that guy, George Cheeks, Butt Cheeks, looked like Quentin Tarantino? Kind of did. Almost sounded like him, too. But him knocking out Jimmy Fallon, guy's a pussy. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say those things. But anyway, I haven't watched that. So that was a live reaction to AI Barry's video. They posted that, I believe, yesterday. I believe that was yesterday. That's some funny shit. Anyway. Let me get rid of this. Actually, no. What was I doing here? I have to swap something out. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Live by myself, solo dolo. So, yes, you're going to see Fupas here and there. Let me go here and replace this. Sorry, guys. Replace. Let's go to my favorite part. Yes, you already know where I'm going. Random shit on X. Breaking news. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But let's get to this. Bobby D. Wow, you really can ruin or explode the United States in 6 months. I personally cannot believe how fast DJT has turned this massive ship around this quickly. We need a new law to stop illegal immigration. No, we just needed a president who gave a shit.
President Trump marking 6 months in the White House.
It is my honor to introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump immediately getting to work with a remarkable show of the use of executive power.
We've never seen anything like this. There's 20,000 people cheering for every executive order signed.
President Trump comes in and immediately begins taking action to fix each and every one of these fires that the Democrats started.
With 6 months delivering on the agenda. This ultimately is promises made, promises kept by the president.
This is a message to the rest of the world. The days of ripping off America and Americans are officially over.
The Trump archives are a series of near impossible feats.
We have the safest, most secure border in the history of this nation.
Border crossings have dropped so much that federal agents now outnumber illegal crossers.
He had a mandate and he's delivering on it. The American economy is better for it.
NASDAQ and S&P both hitting all-time highs.
Gas prices are down. Retail sales are up. $2 trillion in international financial agreement and record tariff revenue.
The USA is on a roll.
Culminating in the signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill on July 4th.
A bill for and by the people.
Thanks to this bill, Trump could resign tomorrow and still point to an enduring legacy.
And he's full steam ahead for America.
This movement that President Trump has started is only getting bigger. It has more energy, more enthusiasm.
What he's going to do is show up and work hard and deliver every day for the American people.
You're watching history, so buckle up, because the next 3.5 years will probably be just as busy.
Yes, it will. And yes, I'm a Trumper. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I understand no man is perfect. No politician is even close. But Trump is the perfect man for the job. He doesn't have to be a perfect man. It's just, it is what it is. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? He has his faults. But what do you expect? No one's perfect. I just said that. But guess what, though? One of the most transparent presidents ever. He says how he feels, doesn't give a shit who doesn't or who does like it. But let's just be real. Most of us do. So fuck them. Whoever doesn't like it. F-E-F-O. Just saying. Anyway, let's get down to some more shit. My bookmarks. The truth is coming out, and Barack Hussein Obama sweating. George Papadopoulos.
Former Trump 2016 foreign policy advisor, George Papadopoulos. George, thank you for joining the Pulse this evening. And George, your life, it was turned upside down by this hoax, allegedly orchestrated by Barack Hussein Obama himself. How does it feel to see the truth finally coming out about this?
Yeah, David, thanks a lot for having me. It's actually quite astonishing to really see President Trump use that language the way that he did today, the two critical words being guilty and treason. And I wholeheartedly agree with President Trump's assessment of exactly what President Obama's role was in Obamagate and what it was tantamount to being treasonous. When you have a sitting president basically orchestrating not only domestic intelligence, but some would argue global intelligence agencies to spy on, target a rival presidential campaign in the heart and the heat of a presidential election season, What else can you call that, David? The president is absolutely correct. Now, of course, I was one of many victims. Ultimately, President Trump himself was a victim. But more importantly than even us as individuals, 75 to 80 million MAGA voters were the ultimate victims of this attempted coup.
It's a long video, so I won't post the whole thing, but I've never watched David Harris Jr. I used to watch Newsmax when I had time, but due to my work schedule, I don't watch anymore. There are a couple of people on there I like a lot. Cara Hugby, Greg, oh my God, I forgot his name. Craig something? Yeah, anyway. Steve Schmidt. A few other guys I like on there. They actually a pretty good network to watch some news. I am following. All right. Barack or Obama? Is that or? OJ. I realized that. I remember when this happened too. That's some funny shit. All right, breaking. Tulsi Gabbard calls out Barack Obama for attempting to deflect blame to the Russiagate hoax. She debunks Hussein's lies, line by line, calling it a coup. Obama ordered his cronies to use already debunked intelligence to push the Russia narrative. That is a fact. I'll play some of this.
From former President Obama there. He's saying that none of this makes any sense, that this is a distraction. What do you say to that?
It's the art of deflection coming from former President Obama, as well as his friends who are still in Congress today, and Senator Warner and Congressman Jim Himes, really all basically saying that exact same statement, which doesn't actually address the issue that was revealed in great detail in the over 100 documents that we released last week, in the documents that we will be releasing later this week, that point to the undeniable fact that you laid out in your introduction to this segment, is that the intelligence community had one assessment, that Russia did not have the intent or capability to try to impact the outcome of the U.S. election leading up to Election Day. The same assessment was made after Donald Trump was elected by the American people as president in 2016, defeating Hillary Clinton. And it wasn't until after that pulled President's Daily Brief document that you referenced that the Principals Committee was called in the National Security Council, and President Obama then directed Obama's DNI James Clapper to lead the effort to create this new intelligence community assessment that detailed not if, but how Moscow attempted to influence the outcome of the U.S. election. So this is the thing that I think people should pay attention to, is neither the message from President Obama's office, neither the statements coming from Democrats in Congress today and their friends in the propaganda media. None of them are addressing this fact that there was a shift, a 180-degree shift from the intelligence community's assessment leading up to the election to the one that President Obama directed be produced after Donald Trump won the election, that completely contradicted those assessments that had come previously. The second thing I want to address that's very important, Laura, is that you in the clip that you played, you saw John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey stated with high confidence this January intelligence community assessment that they drafted at the direction of President Obama. The fact is that they used already discredited information like the Steele dossier. They knew it was discredited at that time, yet they used it as a source for this document that they claim to have high confidence in. They used intelligence that some of these intelligence community professionals rejected previously because of the lack of credibility and the lack of the ability to vet with any kind of confidence.
Because, of course, you saw yesterday Barack Obama and his usual holy shit, they got me defense. Yeah. Listen, guys, I am no genius, but I have common sense. And if I see it, just saying, who wants to see this become a reality? I raise both my hands. I do. Yeah, look at this. 100%. Random shit. This is the random shit show. I was at Walmart last night after work. I went there, was it at 8:45, 9 o'clock after work? I was here at this job. Went to Wally World, get a few things. And it was like the 5th car I finally got out. Just saying. It's what they say, you get what you pay for. What was it, last week I went to Target, as they say. I didn't have a problem. Went in, had a Starbucks in there. I mean, you have to say Target. You can't just say Target. Target sounds ghetto. Target makes you feel more, Yeah. Okay. Oh my FG. Mike Joy. If when God willing, Obama and his his crew gets indicted, it will be Judge Jeanine Pirro, the DC AG, who drops the hammer.
Ago, President Donald Trump. Well, here's an interesting little twist that I bet no one is thinking about regarding the new criminal referrals that just came across DOJ regarding the Obama era officials, Obama, Clapper, Brennan, Susan Rice, etc. 2 months ago, President Donald Trump appointed Judge Jeanine Pirro as U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. Now, Judge Jeanine has an impeccable record in New York State, not only as a prosecutor, but as a judge. And she and Donald Trump go way back. They're friends, and he trusts her. Now, the U.S. Attorney General in Washington, D.C. is a very powerful position. It has a dual role. So not only does it oversee local crimes in Washington, D.C., but it also oversees federal crimes that might have happened in Washington, D.C., i.e. politicians, intelligence officials, etc. So this puts Judge Jeanine Pirro in the direct line of indictments should they come down. I find that extremely interesting because she's a shark.
That's going to be fun. Okay, Elon Musk news, just let that sink in. I don't know if this is true. Just something I saw. Ukrainian officials released the kickback numbers they gave U.S. politicians, Joe Biden, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, who was surprised, Lindsey Graham, Mitt Romney, John Cornyn, Adam Schiff, Dan Crenshaw, not surprised, Elizabeth Cheney, and Kevin McCarthy. Listen, you will never hear me say I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative. There's a difference. And I've said before, if any of this is fact, I don't know. Politicians are dirty. It is what it is. I mean, seriously. It's how it is. That's why they do it. Not Trump. Sorry, that's why I respect him. Gave his salary up. I mean, come on. The first president in history to lose money going into office. Let's be real. Look it up. Do your research. It's fact. Can't argue with it. Breaking, Democrats are now calling for a Biden-Crockett presidential ticket in 2028. Imagine that. Yeah, the memes have a better track record than the mainstream media's divisive fiction. Me trying to figure out what's happening in the world through memes because I refuse to watch the news. The funny shit about that is I used to watch all the time. I used to watch, I'm not talking about my TDS times, but, after when I woke up, Newsmax, like I said, some of the people like on there, Fox, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity. I still watch some of them here and there to get like the headlines or their, what is it they call it in the beginning of the show? The angle, the first few minutes of the breakdown of the show. Then once in a while, depends on who's on, I watch it. But I don't watch it as much as I used to because I not that I lump up all the media together in the same bullshit, but still, you know what I'm saying? Just like politicians, they're not all perfect at all. This is important. The best video I have seen today.
Liberal walk up to me and ask, well, what about you isn't Democrat? To which I responded, well, besides my skin color, what about me is Democrat? And it was at that very moment that she realized that God gave her enough common sense to ask me about my values. Now, don't get me wrong. I was raised to vote Democrat down the ballot. So when I first started, I would say things like, I'm a Republican, but I'm not a conservative. But now I know all too well I am a full-fledged, hardcore conservative, and I'm proud of it. I mean, my favorite saying is I was born black, not Democrat. But in all seriousness, whenever I began to think for myself politically, the choice was easy. I mean, Why would I want to belong to a party whose mission is to infringe on the Second Amendment as if a criminal would ever participate in something like a mandatory buyback? Why would I want to belong to and endorse a godless party? Because there is no such thing, and I mean no such thing as a trans child. We have confused children and sick, enabling adults. Why would I want to belong to a party that takes pride in shedding innocent blood? Number one, as if that's not what God hates. Number two, as if there's not a black market for baby organs. And number three, as if abortion clinics didn't start in the hood. Because if you think Trump is bad, you should research exactly who Margaret Sanger was. But speaking of the black community, why would I want to belong to a party who's responsible for the foundation of the Triple K? But it's not just that. Supposedly in the 1900s, the party switched, right? But what never changed, what I noticed never changed, is Democrats' love for immigration, how they have always prioritized that over the black community. I mean, imagine every single Democrat leader helping you joke about what a black job is in 2024, exposing your ignorance on 1924 and how imperative the Immigration Act of that year was, how it was all reversed in 1965 with the Hart-Celler Act, how Congress refuses the advice of the Rockefeller Commission and the Hesverse Commission, and how to this day they refuse to adopt the Barbara Jordan blueprint, validating every single thing that Dr. Claude Anderson spoke of generally, but specifically what Mrs. King spoke of in 1991 with her letter to Congress. Now look, I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect. No, nobody's perfect. What I'm saying is I saw with Malcolm X when he said that the liberals were the worst thing that could ever happen to the Western Hemisphere, but y'all ignore that, just like how y'all ignore LBJ saying, and I quote, "I'm going to have Negroes voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and by God, 60 years later, I see no sign of recourse, but rest assured your vote is your voice, even if it is a whisper."
Wow. I haven't watched that video. That was probably the best video I've watched today. Holy shit. Remember this?
Especially the president is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law. No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I played this already. You're an infamous. Yeah, I played this the other day. All right, y'all mad because I'm a black man calling out Barack Obama? I didn't owe him a thing just because he's part black. He's not my king, not my God, and being black doesn't put him above the law. He's a dollar store MLK wannabe. This is Terrence K. Williams. He's a comedian. Am I following him yet? I believe I am, yeah. Yeah, I've seen him before. I actually like him. He's pretty cool. I would love to dedicate my life to this country.
I would love and I would dedicate my life to this country, but I see it as being a mean life, and I also see it as somebody with strong views and somebody with the kind of views that are maybe a little bit unpopular, which may be right, but may be unpopular.
I am your voice. So to every parent who dreams for their child and every child who dreams for their future, I say these words to you.
Because of the music, don't want to get some copyright shit or freaking muted as much as I like to hear the rest of what he's saying. But you notice that? It's always been the same. Never change. I love this. I won't let this. I let you just watch it because there's music to this too. This is pretty bad. This almost happened to me once. Oh, God. He's dead? No, he's moving. Eesh. Mueller, I tried to find dirt on Trump, but everything led back to you and Hillary. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is hilarious. Watch this. I like this guy, Steven.
Running from the cop, but takes a major drop and goes face first into home, but doesn't quite make it because his new home will be with Bubba in cell block 4. Goes from running man to stunning man as he grinds his face to Chicken Hamburger Helper stiffens up from the Zeus Juice Dose. Whatever he was running from, he is now running towards Chock-a-Doodle-Doo Land.
Yeah, it was Steve Inman. I am following this guy, right? I keep posting his stuff. Yeah, he's hilarious. All right, Obama next on that find. Wait, Obama next on that find out list. Didn't say we didn't tell you so. We saw this coming from a mile away. No one is above the law. Remember, you all said that. Just saying.
Don't say we didn't tell you so. We saw this one coming from a mile away. You said nobody was above the law, especially when Trump got arrested. You remember that? I want you to keep that same energy when they go ahead and get a mugshot of Obama. Personally, I'm thrilled. It makes my year that I'm seeing so many of his own supporters turning on that man. I mean, I personally have seen for years who he truly is. I'm glad that everybody else is catching up. His recent weird comments about how to raise a boy when, by the way, he doesn't even have a son, I think that really just put the nail in that coffin. This whole thing is downright magical watching it unfold. And also, be so effing for real. Stop acting like these Democrats didn't cause their future arrests. This is the climate they wanted, remember? Because let's be honest, shady stuff has been happening for years in this country. But you know, the political parties weren't going back and forth arresting each other. They weren't making up charges so they could put each other behind bars. Well, that was downright dumb of them to try to get something to stick to Trump because those Dems might actually have something they can be prosecuted for. I guess it sucks to suck, doesn't it, Buttercup? Do us all a favor, though, and keep that nobody is above the law energy in the coming months when we're getting some amazing mugshots. Who am I kidding? You guys don't hold your own side accountable. What's a joke? Are you excited to see these mugshots? Let me know in the comments. And this is just for entertainment.
Hell yes! I'm excited. Who's this? Claire Patriot.
Don't say we didn't tell you.
Garbage day at the Clintons. This is the last one I'm gonna play because I'm going overboard as usual. But this guy nails it. I'm just saying.
What's the bigger threat to America, Democrats or Vladimir Putin?
Oh, I think most definitely Democrats, because Democrats are domestic terrorists. They're here right now on our land. They acting like they are friends. They acting like they are family, but they just snakes. They like a whole bunch of narcissists times 10 on steroids. I'm telling you, man. The Democrats, majority of them, I would say let's lock them up for treason because they are the biggest enemy to the state. Vladimir Putin has done nothing yet but all the stuff that the Democrats blame him on doing. What's one thing that Putin has done to America to harm us yet? Zero, zilch. Throw that in the garbage. You Democrats are dirty, filthy liars, and your breath stink.
I don't know if that has to do anything. Oh, last one. Sorry. I had to post this because this is how I'm going to end my video.
You or someone you love suffer from TDS? If you're shouting at furniture or trembling at bumper stickers, you may need Magatonin.
With Magatonin, intrusive rage fades. You may even start using your indoor voice again. Side effects of Magatonin may include mindful scrolling, unblocking old friends, improved attitude, and slight dryness or itching of the taint.
Don't scream at the sky. Transcend it. Call your doctor and see if Magatonin Ishak is right for you.
Anyway, that was it for that. Let me get rid of this. I'm an idiot. I'll call it short today because, yeah, I you know, as I was saying yesterday, about the video, again, apologies for that, but the people that I showed kind of agree with me. But to change the subject, my boss Amadeo, him and I were talking because somebody called out, so he was actually in the back with me while I was cooking the entrees. He was helping me plate them and all this stuff, so it was just him and I. So we got to talk about a bunch of stuff, what's going on, movies and all that shit. I mean, it's 4 hours, so obviously we talked our asses off, and obviously it's because of Amadeo. I'm a huge Trump supporter, and I woke up. Got out of that TDS phase, even though, as I said before, I didn't have TDS because of any specific policies, just because of the liberal media. But a lot of people believe that there are going to be no arrests. Now, to an extent, I agree. To an extent. But with the people that are in the director of FBI, deputy director of FBI. Pam Bondi, well, let's see what Blondie does. Shapiro, Gabbard, more importantly, the FBI and the DOJ. I have a feeling that they will be arrested. People may disagree because of all the shit that's always happened and not never happened. But as my point is, this is Trump's last go at this. So whatever. But let's be real here. Most of America wants it. It's out there. Look around in memes, posts, videos, viral videos. It's out there. It's what we want. Why do you think it's out there? We want these jerkwads arrested. We want them behind bars. So this shit never happens again, as Gabbard said. It is what it is. Let's be real here. And if nothing happens, let's be real. The rest of America is going to lose faith. And not just the Republican Party, but in any and all politicians and bureaucrats. It's just, I don't know. I think if this, they don't arrest these people, some kind of charges, whatever it may be, I don't know. You know, the things being thrown around, civil war and all this shit. But let's be real, man. If civil war would have happened, we kicked your ass. Piece of shit fucking nerds. Sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't help that. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, share, thumbs up. As I said before, not a viral person. I don't have a lot of followers. Nobody knows me. I'm a grain of sand in a huge beach that nobody goes to. So nobody sees me. But it's fine. But for those of you who are watching, thank you. Love you guys. Stay true to the red, white, and blue, as this guy always says. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I got to head on out of here after I upload to ScrewTube and go see a dentist because I got bad infection that's been driving me nuts. It's a little okay today, but let's see. What am I doing? Oh, here it is. Yeah. Latest.